Good evening, Blaze News Point. With me, DEBORAH MACE. First, our headlines. The Civil Service Agency of Liberia has given additional 60 days ultimatum to employees who have been blocked Secretariat to communicate with the Liberian Senate and amended alliance and nationality laws. The Bureau of State-Owned Enterprises has engaged with the for reactivation and addressing the existing legal, institutional, and governance challenges. And away from Liberia, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has agreed rules the rules of the upcoming TV debates against her opponent, Donald Trump. This plus many more are coming up in today's edition of the Blaze News Point. But first is the news bulletin with MENSOUHN.
The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Agriculture, has launched a 200 acres merchandise of das cassava farming project in Yekwala district, Bon County. This initiative is part of the trilateral agreement involving the Ministry of Agriculture, the National Cassava Sector of Liberia, and the Sua Yeti Multipurpose Cooperative Society. In an interview with Blaze Evan, Ranulph Kole, the technical advisor of the Sua Yeti Multipurpose Cooperative, said the project is a component of the Ministry of Agriculture Rural Economic Transformation Project funded by the World Bank. As the main beneficiary of the 20-acre marginalized cassava farming project, Kole revealed the cooperative planning to expand its agricultural activities to include vegetables and maize cultivation. He also extended his appreciation to the government of Liberia and its partners for their support, while calling for the extension of similar projects to other parts of the county. The Bureau of State-Owned Enterprises has engaged with the full reactivation in addressing the existing legal, institutional, and governance challenges that currently affect the oversight of SOEs. The engagement, which occurred in the last 5 months, have crafted a detailed transitional plan in providing a roadmap to address strategic reform in the SOE sector over. Addressing the media on Thursday, the Director General of the institution named reform as a targeted to boost domestic revenue contribution to development. Director Arthur Masakwe said the reform will also address the strengthening of the legal and regulatory framework, improving governance and efficiency for a robust enterprise information system. He said the institution, through its legal team, has drafted the act and is currently engaged with the Law Reform Commission and the Office of the President on the review of the act and the Decree number 8 in the subsequent legislation of the BSE Act. And added that the BSE Act will serve as a foundation for the development of sector regulation of SOE and provide a strong basis for improving. The Civil Service Agency of Liberia has given additional 60 days ultimatum to employees who have been blocked to verify their status with evidence as to why they should not be blocked from the payroll. According to Josiah Jukad, although the action is belated due to the insensitivity of the previous government, it however demonstrates the CSA and Ministry of Finance and Development Planning commitment to restrict waste and abuse of public resources. The CSA board said the exercise will commence on September 2, 2024, and is expected to run through November 4, 2024, noting that thereafter, unverified names will be permanently removed from the national payroll. Further, that the CSA is working in collaboration with the MFDP to inform the public on the total amount of funds that has been wasted on ghost and fake names, double dipping, getting salaries from 2 or more spending entities, among others. Meanwhile, Josiah Jukad has also revealed the blocking of 6,387 potential ghost names on the national payroll and added that said action was recommended by the General Auditing Commission. According to him, out of the 6,387, 146 are unverified employees of the Central Administration at the House of Representatives. The Deputy Director General for the National Bureau of Concession, Bill McIntosh Ben Camara, is calling on citizens to expose any danger posed by companies operating in their environment. He stressed that such issues must be addressed by the national government to ensure accountability. Speaking on Tuesday, September 4, 2024, at the Center for the Exchange of Intellectual Option on Kerry Street in Central Monrovia, Kamara revealed that his institution is preparing to embark on a review of concession agreements. This review will evaluate whether concession companies are operating in line with the national law and in the best interest of the citizen and the country. Kamara pointed out the serious concession companies in Liberia are deceiving the government and its people by withholding much needed revenue. This lost revenue, he said, could otherwise contribute to national development and improve the lives of citizens. Kamara emphasized that Liberia can keep peace with other developing nations if the government takes the necessary steps to ensure good governance, both now and in the future. Residents of Manhattan, located along the Third Member to Monrovia Highway, are in a state of alarm following reports of unusual sounds emanating from the Maha River Bridge. The bridge, constructed in the 1970s, holds a forbidding history, having served as a site of violence during Liberia's 14-year civil conflict. Residents are now raising concerns over mysterious sounds that have typically heard during the evening and nighttime hours. They fear these could be warning sounds that the bridge has outlasted its lifespan and could collapse anytime soon. Coleman Gray, the town chief of Maha community, voiced the fears of his community during an interview with journalists. Gray called on the government of Liberia to intervene, urging the Ministry of Public Works to conduct a thorough inspection of the bridge to address the community growing concern. The interim president of the University of Liberia, Dr. R. Hassan Conte, has announced a plan to conduct an official audit of the past leadership of the University of Liberia. Speaking during a press conference held at the school campus on Wednesday, Dr. Conte stressed the need of financial audit to be carried out by the interim administration. Addressing several issues affecting the university during the past academic school year, the interim president outlined plans to collaborate with the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning and other ministries in conducting an assessment for increased budgetary allotment to the state-run university. According to him, the interim administration is working along with the Faculty Association of Liberia to regularize the issues of salary for faculty and staff. The National Commission on Higher Education has responded to the article in the Verite newspaper against its executive director, Dr. Edward Laman Wakoyon, regarding the bills expenditure and fraud. On September 4, 2024, the Verite newspaper reported an article that the NCHE has now turned into a nest of abuse, waste, fraud, and mismanagement under the leadership of Executive Director Dr. Wonkoyo. According to the Verite newspaper, it uncovered a file of financial documents, including payment voucher, that's requisition, purchase order, checks, and receipts of how Dr. Wonkoyo has alleged turned the commission into a haven of financial mismanagement, waste, and abuse. In a release signed by Emmanuel Ian Guer, Public Relations Officer of NCHE, the report from Verite newspaper is not only misleading, but malicious, unfounded information against the NCHE Executive Director. According to the release, the National Commission on Higher Education is noted for upholding the highest standards of transparency, honesty, and accountability, adding that any implication or accusation to the contrary is not only false, but also deeply unfounded and mistaken characterized. A widow farmer in Wasutan, Gago Swad, is making her way to Liberia to care for her 5 children. Madam Swad lost her spouse years ago and has been left to cater to the needs of their 5 children alone. She emphasized that investing the penny she generates from the sale of her product into her children's education will enable them to revive their poor livelihood. The widow generates more than 5 100 Liberian data from each series of fufu and has been committed to sponsoring her children's education. Madam Swal lamented that some of her children has been promoted to junior high and as such, she has to step up the business to underwrite the cost of the education. She's appealing to humanitarian organizations and goodwill individuals for financial assistance to help her efforts. In rural Liberia, women who lost their spouse make their own farming and take on responsibility of raising their children. Some of them were young then to have another relationship but prefer to look after their kids. After a result of this commitment, they face significant challenges to feed for the family. Our correspondent Ramsey Clark has compiled a report about a widow who beats the odds alone to cater to the needs of her family. In a move to enhance legislative accountability on gender issues in Liberia, a landmark memorandum of understanding has been signed between Medical Liberia aiding disadvantaged women and girls, Raising Youth Mentorship Initiative, and the Institute for Research and Democratic Development. This coalition aims to push for greater legislative focus on gender-related concerns, particularly in combating sexual gender-based violence. The MOU, part of the broader initiative, that's a concerted action for zero tolerance against SGBV in the Manon River Union, that signifies a major step towards holding Liberia legislature accountable for its action or inaction on gender equity. For the first time, the legislature performance will be graded based on gender-related indicators, a move that strengthens feminist voices in the fight against systemic oppression and advances regional policy reforms from collaborative advocacy. The initiative will monitor and evaluate legislature responsiveness to gender issues through specific metrics, such as gender responsive budgeting, the number of gender mainstreaming bill passed, the percentage of the national budget allocated to combat SGBV, the implementation of inclusive gender leadership laws for national and local positions, and the adoption of gender policy, among others. Meanwhile, the head of program at Medical Liberia, that's Balu Jusu, highlighted the transformative potential of this partnership, stating that it marks a significant milestone in collaborative journey towards ending sexual and gender-based violence in Liberia and across the Manon River Union. Aggrieved employees of the Liberia Opportunities Industrialization Center Banga Satellite has called on LORC Board of Directors to record the appointment of Rachel Page as training manager. The disenchanted staff walked out of the induction ceremony in protest to the appointment of Madam Page, who took over from Pastor Peter Tillman, who was retired. Speaking in an interview with our reporter following the program, the aggrieved employees spokesperson, African Taka Winyon, claimed the newly appointed training manager lacks the competency and capability to lead the Banga Satellite. Taka Winyon announced abandonment action from the classroom and disruption of instructional activities until the replacement of the newly appointed training manager. In response to the aggrieved, the acting national director, that's executive director of LRC, Mr. Piercy, condemned the employees' action and noted that the first female training manager, Madam Rachel Page, merits the job and suggests she maintain the rule. And U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has agreed to the rules of the upcoming TV debate against her opponent Donald Trump, including allowing Mark to be muted when it is the other person's time to speak. Mrs. Harris' campaign previously fought the muted Mark rule, which was agreed by her predecessor in the presidential contest, Joe Biden. Analysts suggested Mrs. Harris' team believed the rule could benefit Trump. But on Wednesday, both the Harris and Trump campaign agreed to the grounds debate rules set up by host network ABC News. The debate scheduled for the 10th of September in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, will be the first showdown between the two as presidential nominee.
Many thanks to Menso with the news bulletin on the Blaze News Points. If you just joining us, you are listening to Blaze News Points. These are stories topping our presentation. The Civil Servants Agency of Liberia has given additional 60 days ultimatum to employees who have been blocked. The plenary of the House of Representatives has ordered its secretary to communicate with the Liberian Senate. The Bureau of State-Owned Enterprises has engaged with the full reactivation in addressing the existing legal institution and governance challenges. And away from home, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has agreed to the rules of the upcoming TV debate against her opponent, Donald Trump. Let's take a short break to be back to give you voices behind the news. Welcome back. The Civil Service Agency of Liberia has given additional 60 days ultimatum to employees who have been blocked to verify their status with evidence as to why they should not be blocked from the payroll. According to Josiah Jukai, although the action is belated due to the insensitivity of the previous government, it however demonstrates the CSA and Ministry of Finance and Development planning's commitment to restrict the waste and abuse of public resources. The CSA board said the exercise will commence on September 2nd and is expected to run through November 4th, noting that thereafter unverified names will be removed from the national payroll.
A total of 613 names on the payroll will be blacked effective immediately until further investigation and or verification is carried out. A national compliance audit of the government of Liberia's payroll was conducted by the General Auditing Commission covering the period between 2018 and 2021. In 2022, the report, among other things, revealed that 9,287 employees or individuals representing 13% of the workforce and receiving US 3.7 million monthly could not be verified during the exercise. That's in 2022, GAC report, not CSA. A 90-day post-audit verification exercise was also conducted as an opportunity for the concerned employees to be verified. During that process, only 2,900 were verified and showed up in essence. Since then, 6,387 remain unverified. The government continues to lose a staggering $2.5 million to these potential ghosts, representing about 9% of the total workforce. May I hasten to point out that these verification exercises are all mandatory. The Auditor General therefore recommended in the audit report that these unverified individuals should be temporarily blocked. In the Auditor's General recommendation, it maintained that, quote, the Office of Controller and Accountant General, the CAG, will place a moratorium on salaries of all employees, meaning the 6,387 not verified during the fiscal verification exercise and for whom legitimate excuses were not provided.
The voice of Civil Service Agency Director General Josiah Jokai. The plenary of the House of Representatives has ordered its secretary to communicate with the Liberian Senate an amended Alliance and Nationality Law, which was voted in favor by members of that August body. The bill, titled Amended Alliance and Nationality Law of 2024, was unanimously voted for during the extraordinary section of the House's plenary on Thursday, September 5. The enactment of the amended provisions aim to revise and modernize the law, particularly with respect to citizenship, immigration, naturalization, employment, and gender equality. The bill, which was submitted by Nima County Electoral District 7 Representative Musa Hassan Belete on February 13, 6, to provide policies and principles that follow recent present day domestic sanities. Musa Belete spoke to legislative reporters at his Capitol building office following the passage of the bill.
First, let me use this time to thank the team of the Honorable House of Representatives for taking this action as long overdue, which gives Nigerians who are natural the right to always maintain the citizenship. That's the main crux of this law. And once you are a natural born Nigerian and go anywhere and become citizen, you cannot lose the citizenship. Our brothers and sisters have found the world, our children around the world. We now exercise the citizenship in spite of holding the citizenship of other countries. What this bill does, it just brings us into par with the rest of the world. We were behind. There are no other country in the world.
The voice of Representative of District 7 Nema County, Musa Hassan Belete. The Bureau of State-Owned Enterprises has engaged with the full reactivation and addressing the existing legal, institutional, and governance challenges that currently affect the oversight of SOEs. The engagement, which occurred in the last 5 months, has crafted a detailed transitional plan in providing a roadmap to address strategic reforms in the SOEs sector overall. Addressing the media on Thursday, the Director General of the institution named reforms as a targeted to boost domestic revenue contributions for development. We're sorry we can bring you that asset. The interim president of the University of Liberia, Dr. Al Hassan Contet, has announced a plan to conduct an official audit of the past leadership of the University of Liberia. Speaking during a press conference held at the school campus on Wednesday, Dr. Contet stressed the need of financial audit to be carried out by the interim administration. According to him, the interim administration is working along with the Faculty Association of Liberia to regularize the issues of salary for faculty and staff.
Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, and the Ministry of State and the Ministry of Public Works to undertake a comprehensive assessment of the Capitol Hill and Federal campuses. We have been working with the ministries named above to ensure that the university's remaining budget of a total of 37 million for fiscal year 2024 is implemented on time to meet expenditures for the rest of the year. Salaries for faculty and staff are up to date. The salaries for adjunct faculty have also been paid. We are currently working with the representatives of the University of Liberia Faculty and Staff Association, or FASA, liaison teams to the interim management team of the university to regularize the adjunct, formerly part-time faculty payroll. We are also working with FASA to address the many issues bedeviling the adjunct faculty salary, including henceforth agreeing on the rules and regulations for instructional analysis, contracts for only current adjunct faculty. We have also been working with FASA to address their concerns about salary disparities. The Ministry of Public Works is also helping us to undertake a comprehensive assessment of our 4 campuses of the university to ensure that
The voice of the interim president of the University of Liberia, Dr. Al Hassan quoted. Back to this development, the Bureau of State-Owned Enterprises has engaged with the full reactivation in addressing the existing legal, institutional, and governance challenges that currently affect the oversight of the SOEs.
The team at the BS being engaged with the full reactivation of the BSE and addressing the existing legal, institutional, and governance challenges that currently affect the effective oversight of SOE. Therefore, we have crafted a detailed transitional plan that provides a roadmap to address strategic reforms in the SOE sector over the next 3 to 4 years. The targeted reforms are geared towards ensuring the effective oversight and governance of SOEs to boost their contribution to domestic revenue mobilization and national development. The reforms will address the following priority areas. 1. Strengthening the legal and regulatory framework that will support the development of corporate governance and operational policy for SOE. 2. Improving the governance and efficiency of SOS individually and as a sector by designing and creating sectoral corporate governance and operational policies. 3. Developing a robust enterprise information system for the sector to enhance the monitoring of SOE to ensure transparency in their operations and promote their accountability to the public. And 4, strengthening the institutional capacity of the BSE to enhance the effective monitoring of SOE. The BSE, through its legal team, has drafted the act and is currently engaged with the Law Reform Commission (LRC) and the Office of the President of the Republic of Liberia on the repeal of the I-83 and the subsequent legislation.
The voice of the Director General of the Bureau of State-Owned Enterprises, Arthur Masakwe. At this juncture, let's cross over to Stephen Tallow for the Passion of Live Sports.
The Lone Star have their teamwork, enjoying a refreshing team building activity with a walk on the beach. This teamwork provides a unique opportunity outside of the usual training environment. The team will conduct their final training session later this evening at the match venue, Stade de Kegie. Nigerian-born Liberian international striker Emmanuel Ernest has received his first call-up to the national senior team of Liberia. Ernest, of who father is a Nigerian, mother Liberian, was born in Liberia on December 13, 2000. The 23-year-old striker noted that he had lived all his life in Nigeria, something which gave him the Nigerian accent. Speaking with journalist in Lomé, Togo, ahead of Liberia's game with Togo on Friday, Ernest says the invitation sent to represent Liberia, the Lone Star of Liberia, is a dream come true for his family, adding that he is almost to give his all while representing the red, white, and blue boys in the 2025 AFCON qualifiers. The player, who is a central forward, have played for FC Rapid 1923, Repensia Timosura, and FC Oro. The player has scored 6 goals in 2 games so far in all competition. Liberian will be hoping to get the needed result from Emmanuel Ernest, who will make his debut match for the Lone Star tomorrow. South African goalkeeper Reuven Williams has etched his name in history, becoming the first African-based player to be nominated for the World Ballon d'Or Yashim Trophy. The announcement made on Wednesday, 4 September, recognizes Williams' exceptional performance as one of the top 10 goalkeepers worldwide, competing alongside notable names like Argentina's Emiliano Martinez and Portugal's Diogo Costa. Ballon d'Or award ceremony will take place on Monday, 28 October 2024. Williams, the captain of South Africa's national team, Bafana, current Mamelodi Sundowns star, is the first footballer playing on African soil to earn a nomination for the prestigious award. Felicio Nelson's late struck on Angola a huge win at the Baba Yaro Sports Stadium as Ghana began their 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifiers with defeat. Despite controlling most of the game and dominating possession, the Black Stars failed to take their chances in Kumasi. Angola coach Pedro Congas rang in late changes, bringing on Milson, who netted a winner in injury time. The Black Stars will travel to Morocco to play Niger in a second Group C game, while Angola welcomes Sudan, who defeated Niger on March Day 1. And that's the sports.
Wednesday at the University of Liberia, the interim president of the University of Liberia has announced plans to conduct an official audit of the past leadership of the university. Speaking at a press conference held at the school campus on Wednesday, Dr. Conte disclosed that there will be a comprehensive audit based on financial reports conducted by the intern administration, addressing several issues that affected the university during the past academic school year. The interim president has outlined plans to collaborate with the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning and other ministries in conducting an assessment for increased budgetary allotment to the state run in meeting the expenditures for academic year 2024 to 2025.
With the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning and the Ministry of State and the Ministry of Public Works to undertake a comprehensive assessment of the Capitol Hill and Federal campuses. We have been working with the ministries named above to ensure that the university's remaining budget of the total of 37. The purpose of this briefing is to provide an update on the state of the university with respect to certain tasks that the visitor mandated the interim management team of the Board of Trustees to carry out during the university's interim period. Number one, the search for a new president. The search committee, chaired by Sister Mary Lorraine Brown, commenced its work following the closure of the application deadline on July 31st, 2024. The committee will complete its work shortly and send the names of shortlisted candidates to the Board of Trustees for onward transmission to the visitor of the University of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Nwabata. Number two, the academic calendar and preparation for commencement convocation. Classes resumed at the university on July 1st. Final examinations started on July 15, and most exams ended on August 16th. Planning for the 104th commencement convocation is in high gear and will take place at the Fendel campus of the University of Liberia between September 9th and September 21st. The joint convocation is scheduled for September 20th. Consistent with the tradition of the university, the Board of Trustees will invite the visitor to preside over the commencement and receive a distinguished honorary degree. We have also invited His Excellency Uwele Rochas Okorocha, former Senator and Governor of Imo State, Nigeria, to serve as the commencement speaker. Governor Okorocha is a good friend.
The voice of the interim president at the University of Liberia, Dr. Al Hassan Conte. A widow farmer in Wiasu town, Banko Swa, is making significant strides in sending her children to school from the field of fufu and farming activities. Madam Swa lost her spouse years ago and has been left to cater to the needs of their 5 children alone. She emphasized that investing the penny she generates from the sale of her products into her children's education will enable them to revive their poor livelihood.
Small town of Wesu in Jokole district, an 18 widow, Banko Swa, returns home from a long day at her farm. Exhausted from the trek, she steps into a modest more-to-more house, a simple shelter with no furniture. Madam Swa, who lost her husband at a young age, has been left to raise their children alone. With no financial assistance or family support, she relies solely on farming to meet her family needs and ensure her children receive education. Now she sits in her home, peeling cassava from a farm, a task she does daily to produce fufu for sale. Despite her age, she carefully processes the cassava into smaller parts. Maximizing her yield and income. Every penny she earns goes towards covering school fees for children, a testament to her unwavering commitment to their future.
We the women if we get men. That uno garden who can make sometimes cassava farm, okra farm, green, plenty, because we get nobody to help you all. That last month more well we do here or to help ourselves. Now I say now coming from facing fufu. Oh my like me, I'm facing fufu. I will be in there when I beat the cassava. You can hold me in a motor, you can me in a motor. What I will do. So that it in oh yeah. When I sell my bag of fufu, I take 300 out from there. I keep it. Now they got me open school. I think about it. Then the 200 that you buy small right. No go. Fufu green over here. We eat it. We eat. People we get nobody to help you what that and they.
All of Madame Swa's children are in school, a feat she achieves through a tireless effort. She believes that education is the key to breaking the cycle of poverty and hopes that one day her children will be able to lift her out of her current situation.
Why for example we're blind, we all not know about education. But now, when you start educate, you will be care for you. You will take care of you for it your own time. When you own and know for you to do anything, you will not forget about you. You will be busy you. You will be happy you. You will do plenty things for you. You will make you the thing you not know. You will show you because when you coming from outside like that, you go to school. You coming from there, you can't. Maybe you not want for the play. You will be there. You will be clean the play.
A comprehensive report from our Bond County correspondent Rency Clark. Well, on that note, this is how we like to come to the end of the day's presentation of the Blaze News Points. But before we go, these are stories topping our presentation. The Civil Service Agency of Liberia has given additional 60 days ultimatum to employees who would have been blocked to verify their status with evidence as to why they should not be blocked. The plenary of the House of Representatives has ordered its secretary to communicate with the Liberian Senate. The Bureau of State-Owned Enterprises has engaged with the full reactivation of addressing the existing legal, institutional, and governance challenges that currently affect the oversight of the SOEs. And U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has agreed to the rules of the upcoming TV debate against her opponent, Donald Trump, including allowing mics to be muted when it is the other person's turn to speak. MENSOUHN brought you the news bulletin. Stephen Tyler with the sports. Clifton Rennie coordinated and brought you voices behind the news. My name is DEBORAH. I presented. Good evening.